Good evening. Welcome to another edition of the Dugout. I hope you guys are doing well. Enjoyed the game last evening. The first nail biter of this season of the IPL. Apologies for being 15 minutes late. It's all because of Shashwat, because he had to take delivery of special food that comes for him from 35 kilometers away.
No, not 35 kilometers.
It is 30.
20.
It's not 20. Yaar. It's 30. Vasant Kunj is 30, 35 kilometers. Must be close to that. He's such a pampered rich boy that he says, I will not eat some desi food from local Noida canteens or kitchens. I want my special food to come from my house.
No,
amazing.
That's not the case. It's just that it's cheaper. Like I told you, all the dabba services take around 300, 350, 400 rupees a day, all meals included. And I was
400 rupees a day for a dabba service. That is expensive.
Yeah, and plus, and anyways, when I used to come,
that way our Gulati would be more reasonable.
But his review isn't that good, na. People have. When I was shifting, the first advice that everyone.
Just for clarity, you're not talking about
you. Obviously not. Obviously not you. But
this Gulati is in Pandara Road.
Yeah, and it's damn good.
When I was shifting, the first thing everyone told me and warned me about was that don't even think that you're going to have all your meals over here. So please do something.
Don't come up with stories. The point of the matter is that he is a rich, spoilt brat. He gets his...
Just cheaper. It's much cheaper. No, much cheaper. It was much cheaper to bring it here.
I know. Yeah.
Very honestly.
Jordans, and he's talking about cheaper and... Anyway, glad you could join us. We are about 10-15 minutes late, but here's a reminder that we're going to be live every evening at 5 p.m. for the Dugout. And why I'm again stressing on that, because our Dugout time has changed for the IPL. You know, the match starts then in the evening, and our usual drill in the Dugout is going to be to talk about subjects that we end up not spending a lot of time during our match analysis. And we've been busy with post-match, mid-match, and even previews that we don't get time to speak about a lot of things that are happening in the IPL. Like, do you have any suggestions? Like,
I think many things.
Many things. What happened last night, I think I'm still not over that. I was really watching highlights of that knock and the highlights that we do on Sports Today.
Did you expect DC to win?
No, to be honest, no.
You should have. You see, I show last night.
To be honest, I did not.
I wasn't there. That's why I just asked him.
That's what I was thinking about.
He was, by the way, complaining about you.
Me?
He's saying, look at this. It's a Delhi match, and Gulati sir is
taken an off because nobody takes Delhi games seriously.
I did not take an off. I was given an off.
I said that nobody takes Delhi games seriously.
You were given. No, I said, why don't you move his off on Monday to something? And Siddharth said, no, he wants it on Monday.
Decide.
I don't know. I don't know.
But that was. But
Siddharth is.
No, Siddharth is.
He said no. He specifically asked because he has some work.
I don't know.
Yeah, that could be the case, because otherwise he would have taken a Monday. No, he would have taken Monday. Otherwise,
he said he says he doesn't need.
No, I'm actually fine.
We can talk about this tomorrow.
Anything at all.
Come on, yeah, don't put words in his mouth. The man itself is sitting. He said it doesn't need it.
Nothing to do with the roster thing.
Yeah,
no role in that.
Don't come in defense of Sidvi sir.
I'm just coming in defense.
Sidvi sir ka defense is coming. No, so one thing about that game, we spoke about that game.
I was just getting to this, that I know that you also, we talked about this yesterday, that I had given up on this game, but you guys also tell me more often than not, whenever a team is chasing close to 209 and they are 5 down or 55 runs, everyone will give up hope, because more often than not, just 10 out of 1 times is something like this going to happen. And one of those days was yesterday, and we touched upon the fact that how Ashutosh took us over the line, sensible innings, and then accelerating. It was just, I finally, since the time I've shifted, first time I was able to sleep at peace.
When he was on 20 of 20 balls, did you think that it's a sensible innings from him?
No, I thought that
he was not seeing the match.
No, I was seeing the match.
You're asking wrong question. You're not here. I was there. He had said next match, what are we to do? He was talking about the next match.
I was thinking that
that's the thing with Delhi Capitals.
I was thinking about that they are making the margin smaller as possible, but
NRR.
Talking about the next match. Anyway, the one thing that happened there at the end of the match was, or day after, or that very late night, Ashutosh did do a video call with his mentor. Shikipa was his guiding light. He does the celebration also.
Yeah. He also had very good moments with Hemang Madani. Both of them shared quite a long conversation. Then there was a reel resurfaced by the Delhi Capitals, where Kevin Peterson was giving Ashutosh Sharma pep talk, and that pep talk was so apt that that's exactly what Ashutosh Sharma did. Kevin Peterson was telling him that, lots of players take you close to the win, lots of people sort of get you back in the game, but who becomes a big match winner is the person who takes you over the line, not somebody who's taking you close. And Ashutosh Sharma said yes, and then cut to the knock that he plays yesterday.
The other reel that's going viral is his old interview where he speaks about his relationship with Chandrakant Pandit in MP, which we spoke about, we touched upon, where he was totally sidelined. He's talking about the Corona time where he said, I was scoring continuously. Even in the selection match, I got a 50 of some 20 odd balls. His last game or something, I was dropped despite getting those runs at such good pace. And he said during Corona you could not even go anywhere, and the entire team used to go to the ground. I used to be in the hotel. I used to only go to the gym. And he said I was borderline into depression from that phase. What an outstanding comeback by Ashutosh. Anyway, what we're going to focus on is the other thing that's gone viral from that game, and social media is abuzz. It's and we did notice it yesterday as well, are these images of the owner, LSG owner, Mr. Goenka, speaking to Rishabh Pant, and all sorts of comments are being made. What did you guys make of this entire thing?
I think nothing much, to be honest. After what had transpired between KL and Goenka last year, this was maybe a mellowed down version of it. But I think it was just a normal chat, and maybe the social media is reading too much into it because of
anything sinister
past.
In this?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I have other thoughts about this.
We'd love to know your thoughts, please.
No, I'll tell you what. Basically, see, we discuss the match as soon as the match is over. Like any cricket fan, all cricket fans do that. But you can't be doing that if you own a team and that is the team that is playing. You can't do that with the captain. And I think that's exactly what Sanjeev Goenka was doing. And he more often than not would be doing with his captain. See, all owners are big fans of cricket, and I do get that. The Ambanis are very great fans of the game. There are other players also who are fans of the game. They have those conversations about the game, but with, like we saw the Ambanis having a chat with MS Dhoni. That's a very casual sort of a conversation. But you going and debating, what I feel is that not debating, but like, because everyone sees cricket a very different way. You and I can see the game very differently, and we can have a debate about that. But you can't have that debate with your captain. Sanjeev Goenka was doing that. That doesn't mean that he's coming from a wrong place. I feel he's coming from the right place. He's doing it as a fan. He's doing it as a lover of the game, and also his passion for his team. Even if I'm not owning a team, I would want to do that with my franchise captain. But when you're owning the team and you know that the person cannot openly express his views to you and can have different thoughts and might hesitate because of the position you are at, that becomes a little awkward, and that is something that the LSG owners should understand. I know that they would be sad and unhappy about a few decisions that was very much visible by the facial expressions when they were in the stands as well. But you cannot have that conversation with your captain. You feel something about the game, talk to somebody who's not the captain of the team or the opponent team, like lots of people do. But talking to your captain and in a way where you know when that this has happened previously, doing that again, I think that just...
What is wrong in talking to the captain? I can't understand. What is the issue in talking to the captain?
The captain would feel under pressure, na?
No. It depends on
already under pressure. He has been given the most important job of this team.
That's not the point. I'm saying that, see, if I am doing a video today and you come and tell me something that this is something I could have done better, I would want to listen to you because we are from the same field in that sense. But if somebody from the outside comes and starts telling me how should I or anybody do his work, then, and plus that person has in a way is above me in the hierarchy, so I can't even tell this to him.
My point is, this is an assumption made by you that in this conversation, Captain Rishabh Pant is being told what to do or what he should have done. That is an assumption.
No, he's not being told what to do.
You just gave that example that if somebody else comes and tells you how to make the video, that's another thing. You're assuming that he is being told to
He's not being told to be done that.
But that's the example you gave.
I'm saying that he's being given an opinion. How it should be done.
So opinion can be given even if you make a video by anybody. Even an opinion can be given by a viewer as well, na? At the end of the day, if you're creating content and that is being consumed by, let's say, the guy in the cafeteria or the boy in the pantry or your maybe a friend in a different department or anyone. Everyone has a right to give you a...
Yeah, they have the right.
So that's what he's doing.
But then
But you said he's telling you, if that person comes and tells you how to make a video, is a different thing. But as a consumer of that video content or as a fan of cricket, he or she or anybody for that matter, whether it's a pantry boy, anyone can come and give an opinion that I like what you did at that day or disliked it or I don't agree with it. What's wrong with that?
No, the only thing wrong with that is then I can express my why I would have done that to a person, if that is a friend or somebody who's not above me in the hierarchy. Here it's very clear that person has an upper hand.
Even if it
then
is
I
somebody,
can't express myself openly.
No, you have done the video, no? Now if somebody is higher up in the thing, he's the editor of, let's say, the political bureau, higher up, he can come and tell you. What's wrong with that? I don't think there is anything wrong with that.
Keeps on happening very frequently, then that start coming in between.
No, as I see this incident is, firstly, there was nothing to suggest that he was being critical of what may have happened in the match. That's my first assumption. So it didn't seem like that. It seemed like a very healthy, casual conversation where smiles were being exchanged. In fact, at one point, if you notice very carefully, Mr. Goenka also invites a couple of people from within the team to join in. You know, there are a couple, they could be members of the support staff. Now, if it was an intense conversation where he is deriding a captain or whatever, if that is an assumption a lot of people are making on social media, then he would want to keep everyone away and would say, and nobody would anyway have come. Case in point, that conversation that was had with KL Rahul. Support staff and video analysts, all of them wouldn't join in because they'll all leave a heated conversation on a side. This wasn't the case. It was a casual conversation. Maybe for all you know, they were reliving some of the fun moments. You know, as an owner, I'm saying, that time I had my heart in the mouth. You know, when the review went, I thought it's out and I started celebrating. It wasn't. Maybe Pant would have said, yeah, even I thought it was out. It could have been a casual conversation about that at that moment. Again, we don't know what it is, but this is also what I'm saying is an assumption, and what if somebody is saying that no, this was again him scrutinizing him, is also an assumption, so we don't know. But let me address that point, that if in case it was a scrutiny,
not scrutiny, I'm saying conversation about the game.
So if conversation about the game, then I've already addressed it now. I don't think there's anything wrong with a conversation about the game.
But if the owner is continuously after every game giving his opinions, that maybe...
Again, you're saying now, make up your mind. Are you talking opinion or conversation?
It's not necessary. It could not be an opinion. It's not necessarily going to be
exactly.
an opinion. It could be
a conversation about the game, as I said just now.
Yeah.
It could be, oh, I thought it was out. I started celebrating prematurely. I was so happy, you know, we thought we had won. Oh, by the way, that young kid, I didn't know he's such a good bowler. That is a conversation. And if it is a conversation, there's nothing wrong with it. He can have it after every match. In fact, I'll go so far as to say that if he was guilty of, you know, being overly critical of a captain after what happened last time,
LSG,
he would have been even more careful. Okay, I want to do this, but now I'll do it behind the camera. The fact that he came and did it openly, I don't think there was any malice there. That's the first assumption. But I'm going into the other assumption, that assuming it was a critical analysis, assuming he was analyzing that whole thing and being critical about certain decision making and whatever that. On that, I've often said that cricketing decisions should be left to cricketers, to coaches. If it's a healthy to and fro, or sometimes it could even be, I'm a novice in cricket, but I've invested so much, but I want to understand, you know, why this decision was taken. And maybe if the captain says that, listen, why did you not, you know, I could just say, you know, I thought that, oh, Shardul is going to come and bowl. And he said, no, that I gave it to Manimaran Siddharth to bowl that last over. I was, you know, a bit surprised. I can say that if I don't know. And maybe you're the captain, you'll say, you know why I did it? Because Mohit is a tail-ender and I thought that he'll get out. So I will like, oh, I didn't know this. You know, so it's a lesson. It can be like that. But assuming that it was again a heated conversation like it was in the KL Rahul case, then I'm never in favor of that. I think I don't think, and by the way, it's a corporate world, I agree with it, and they will come under scrutiny. Like he mentioned, he's a captain, he needs to come under scrutiny. And again, it's also, let's not forget, it's a private entity. It is actually a private entity. You know, like you can say, you know, quite often it's said in Delhi, इतने बाप की सड़क थोड़ी है, and that is right, because वो नहीं है, because वो government की सड़क है, या everyone's a taxpayer, and it is not. But if you are coming into my bungalow where after the gate, that path, and if I have such a fancy house, that is my baap ki sadak actually, na. that. So my point is that IPL, at the end of the day, there are many stakeholders, there are fans and everything, I understand, but it is still a private entity. It's owned by individuals or corporations, and they have the right to do it. But I'm not in favor of doing it openly. If it was a case, which I don't think it was, but assuming in that, because a lot of people are pointing out, if it was again the same case and it was being critical or asking a captain lots of questions, it can happen. You can't stop anyone from doing that. If a person has invested so much money, it can happen behind closed doors. And by the way, because you gave an example of a lot of owners, I know this for a fact that he's not the only owner who asks a question. A lot of them, the only difference is it does not happen on the ground. It happens behind closed doors.
Again, that's what I'm trying. What I'm trying to say is that I don't think the owner should be having cricketing conversations with the captain specifically. I think that should be a conscious decision made by the owners itself, because what that does is that suddenly the captain also starts, see again, the perception Sanjeev Goenka has, everybody knows that what perception he comes with, the only owner to remove MS Dhoni as captaincy, plus what happened with KL Rahul as well. So when a new captain is coming in and when he's being talked about cricket, that captain also has that baggage in his head that this owner comes in with this reputation. So I think because of that reason too, specifically Sanjeev Goenka plus all the other owners should not be having a cricketing conversation with
But why? My point is,
I'm telling you, they've hired their coaches. The coaches are there for being answerable. If they have to ask questions, they should be asking the questions to the coaches, because again, at the end of the day, the player has lots of things to prove. It's not about
what
the
if lot of times a captain takes,
to prove,
and also a lot of times captains take decisions which are beyond the coaches.
Yeah.
It does. For example, I wouldn't be surprised. Let's say, for example, who took the decision to have Manimaran Siddharth? I agree with that decision. I'm not disagreeing. But it would be the captain at that moment to take care. It couldn't have been. Yes, certain captains listen to what comes from outside, but I know this for a fact that Rishabh Pant takes his own call, which is good. I like that about Rishabh Pant. He took that call. He took a gamble. It could have paid off. As I said, margin was this small. That thing was out. We would have been hailing Rishabh Pant the captain. It was not out, so we are now criticized. So if a owner wants some clarity on that, what is the harm?
The harm is the channel should be different. What I'm trying to say is the owner talking to the players directly. Again, how does the...
But he's the captain, not everyone. He didn't go to a Manimaran Siddharth and ask
anybody who's playing. I'm saying that even in the BCCI, it's not the captain who's giving the report or the coach. It's the manager who submits the report to the BCCI.
But captains are asked.
They are definitely...
They were a part of the meeting. The coach is part of the meeting. Review meeting. You did so many shows here saying captain said this, coach said this.
But that review meeting is based on what the report is coming by from the manager. So that should be the channel. I think that's the right channel. Directly, the owners having a conversation with the captain of the franchise, that sort of does not leave a level playing field, because again, it can sort of, the line can be crossed at times, like it has happened in the past. Right now, it might not have. At some point, it will. That is something I feel the channel should not be right. Like Shah Rukh Khan does it. That's why I like him as the owner, because he does not talk about cricket to anybody in the franchise.
No,
I don't think
there was
that's
a report,
the case. Yes, he does.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Gautam Gambhir said,
No, but again, everyone says different things. But as I said, there's nothing wrong. But most of those conversations probably happen.
Yeah,
that is also wrong.
I'll tell an incident. Last year when Punjab Kings chased about 260 odd, that record chase against KKR at Eden Gardens, Shah Rukh Khan was not happy at all. When that happened, he did not really talk to the players. He just probably went back to his hotel room, and it's just a report that I read. But next day, he did have a conversation. So obviously, there's a way to go about things, and the way SRK did, I think it was good.
No, if you're paying so much money, hire a manager, ask questions to the manager, let manager tell exactly what's going on. Was it the captain's call?
People don't
then call the captain and do it.
Fair enough. You would want that. Maybe if you're the owner, you'd do it, and there's nothing wrong. There's certain owners who want to have that one-on-one. Yeah. By the way, can I tell you, Mr. Goenka,
the toxic work culture, then that is
not necessary.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you one thing. I know that about Mr. Goenka is quite involved in terms of. See, again, we called out that KL Rahul thing. I think that was not done. And in fact, we reported it on Sports Day. But he is what I gather from a lot of former players, that he's so much, or he wants to learn so much about cricket, that some of them who are not working with him, like let's say commentators and so, he sometimes calls them up and says, if you're free in the city, can you come? And he actually sits with them and has 1 or 2 hour long meetings to understand. See, that also probably is a sign of a business. So let me give you a hypothetical example. Let's say who are the commentators right now? Robin Uthappa, Ambati Raidu. Just giving an example. I'm not taking real names, but giving an example because I heard from a few people, so I'm not taking their name. But it could be, let's say, they're on the flight to a match, and he also happens to be in the same flight. You know, he knows he's a cricketer. He like to sit with them and chat for 1 hour about, okay, what do you think,
that is
happening?
fine.
No, about his team. What do you think he can do to improve his team? See, that is the kind of feedback. You're a business owner, na, you like to do. You come in contact with you got to understand the mindset also. I'm saying this can backfire also. Too much opinion can backfire. Then you're not really trusting your people, it can backfire. But sometimes it helps as well, right? You're gathering information. So I'm just telling you this part of his personality, which a lot of people don't know. I know, not through him, but through a few players who told me that they...
No problem. He would be definitely, he will be very passionate about the game, and that's a very big reason.
Passionate is another thing. I'm just saying, likes to... sit for hours and have conversation and pick up something because he's not an expert in that.
But that's fine. Then when he knows he's not an expert and he's owned a team, he's owned professional players, then they should be doing that job. He should be managing. I'm saying
he's only talking to his top management, which includes a coach and a captain.
What I'm trying to say that
he didn't go to Manimaran, Siddharth or anybody.
No, I'm saying if there's something wrongdoings by the captain or by the coach, have that in a different channel. Let somebody else tell you. Then have a proper meeting.
You would like to have a middleman. He doesn't like a middleman. He wants to talk to the top management.
That gets toxic because what the players think, like this. See again.
I don't think it's toxic. Okay, now I'll tell you something.
No, but
I'll tell you something.
Thinking that it's... okay, go on.
Can I tell you something which now will tell you? I didn't want to mention. It just so happens, by coincidence, that I happen to know a lot of people, and that's why I'll give you a different perspective, whose work in that organization, not in cricket, in different parts of that organization. It's a very big group. There are many people. I could have had, college mates or somebody, not getting into the details, which department. Do you know that even people who are not, so imagine if you're the owner, there are so many different, verticals. And in verticals, there are CEOs. Now what Shashwat is saying, which is also one way of managing things, is like, I'm the owner, I have 10 verticals, 10 CEOs, and if I have any issue, I'm only speaking to this CEO is communicating to everyone, ex-CEO. But I know a few people who work in that organization in different verticals who are not CEO level, who are not even second level, who are mid-level, and they are on a one-to-one basis with him.
Which is a good thing, I would say.
So he says that's toxic. I am now telling you from people who are working in that organization who actually appreciate this fact.
No, that's good.
Who appreciate that fact.
Here he's not even...
Not in that field, yeah. He may not... See, he's running a business. You're not getting my point. In that field, let's say they have something called Saregama. He's not an expert in music or anything. There will be guys who are experts in music who are running Saregama. I'm giving an example of one of the field. He's not an expert, but if there is a mid-level guy, I'm not saying every person there has, but certain people I know who are not really at high level have a direct access to, and he tends to respond to them. I'm not saying they may be he's taking their feedback, not taking their feedback, was maybe just listening and not paying attention. That also could be, but I'm saying at least they have access to communicate with that. I don't think it's a bad thing.
No, that's definitely not a bad thing. That's in fact a very good thing. We talk about this, that's what we talk about in the Indian cricket team also, right? That the senior players should go and talk to junior players. But the only thing is, in today's day and age, when we know that the current generation of cricketers do not even consider or keep them at any stature the former cricketers. This is still an owner. You're getting that how...
No, but that you're not. No. This is, you're changing the goalpost. Now, cricketers don't take them as they don't respect senior players, so they will not. That's changing the goal. He's not going to think like that. No. See, again, I've made it very clear that if you are doing it in front of everyone and you're really... Tell me one person who did not find fault in that conversation between KL and everyone did.
Everyone.
Even if you are not a KL Rahul, you supported it. But I'm saying in this situation, we really don't know what the situation is.
But if it was wrong, he should have come out and said sorry.
I think it's only...
No, so he did. I think the conversation was where he said that it wasn't like that.
It was just a normal conversation between two people.
Then, so maybe he apologized there.
No, I think since that episode, he's been trying to, whitewash...
Clean his image.
He's gone on 10 podcasts after that. and talked about that everywhere. So I personally.
No, but he has also talked about 10 other things, how businesses are run, what kind of a person he is.
He was doing for so many years. He should have
See, the only reason I feel that this image of
He
him,
did.
Before this.
Yes.
Which sport?
You don't know. You don't. You only consume cricket. So after this show is over,
He's gone on big podcasts only after.
bigger than that also. So when you don't know about a field, then don't comment, na?
I don't think
Has
that,
gone bigger.
The only reason why this image is going viral, it's because something happened in the past last year, and then maybe people are trying to read too much into it that this thing happened in the past, this must have happened again.
Sure. Let's read a few. Since we're talking about the subject, these are opinions that are floating around on social media. We've got one person saying that maybe KL was removed from the team because so Goenka wanted that number 1 jersey. I think this is all in good humor. It's all fun.
Yeah.
Really not targeting anyone. I think it's just a nice connection he found with that number 1.
That's mean actually.
The Sanjeev going, I have a chat with Rishabh Pant and saying stupid. Yeah, that I think was taken fun. The right one, I think it's
That's mean,
no,
mean.
that's really mean. Yeah. That is not to be taken. Please to be eliminating that. Anything that's below the belt, we don't. I'm surprised Pawan took that one. This is also fine. Innings break, ऐसे कैसे वसूल होंगे 27 crore. But by the way, just to let you know that no IPL owner, and this is after having a lot of conversation, really thinks of it, because a lot of time people talk na 27 crore to itni ball dali, itna nobody looks at it like that. It's looked at in a very different way. They have a budget, then they allocate how much they're going to spend for how many batters, then how do you divide that money is spent. There is no ROI, return on investment sort of balance sheet that you see in other businesses. IPL business doesn't work like that. But I know this is all in good humor, good fun.
Either you are retained or you are released. Simple.
Do we have a few comments on this, Pawan? We can take on this subject before moving on to our other big talking point. We'll quickly...
The comment section.
Okay, let's go. Freaking Awesome says only DC and RR. Okay, we'll touch upon DC and RR. He says only DC and RR have the better record than GT in Ahmedabad. The hope GT picks Shofane Rutherford. He's an underrated player. He can deliver under pressure. He can bowl a couple of overs. Alston Menezes says, Nikhil sir, Sid and Shashwat, make a prediction. Will the Flying Kiwi take a blinder today or not? Okay.
If he plays, he will.
He will.
Absolutely.
Okay.
If he plays, he will.
Okay, Siddharth had a... Okay, we'll take this. Shubham Garg, because on this subject, and after this we'll turn to the preview, because there are a lot of questions on the preview. We'll turn our attention to the preview. But Shubham Garg says, I don't like owners giving pep talks to team after win losses. That should be left to team management. There is video of giving pep talk post the game as well of the LSG owners, which he doesn't like. Okay, fair comment made by Shubham Garg. Can we take a few comments, Pawan, which were on this subject? There was Siddharth who had a comment today. Okay, Bruce Wayne says, you buy Pant for an inflated price, and then you do this sort of PR, then you sack the iconic players. So DC is a chill team. He's not a fan of LSG, I'm guessing, right? Okay. We have Chaitanya Bagga says, yesterday Pant's captaincy was spot on, using spinners very well, no dew in the ground, managed with limited resources, the pitch assistance with spinners, the way he went to spinners till last over the game. In fact, Chaitanya, good you pointed out. I myself had praised Pant's captaincy yesterday. I know Pant, the batter, didn't quite have a very good day, but I will say Pant, the captain, was outstanding. I had a few people on social media give me hate.
I was about to get to that. The internet is quite split.
But I'll tell you why.
Decision.
Can I be honest? And it will not be liked by a lot of people. People don't realize that when they say something, social media leaves a history. And I did look at some of the history of people who are spewing hate. And guess what? They are Sanju Samsung fans. See, that's the problem with people who abuse us and say you're not objective and things like that. The problem lies, nobody looks at themselves in the mirror. In fact, it's their opinion because they are a fan of X person or Y person or whatever. They will, as soon as you start praising the other person who's a competitor of their favorite cricketer, they start abusing. And so the problem lies with it, and that's why I tell everyone who's on this panel, don't worry about what comments you get, because 99% of them are biased based on their favorite team or their favorite player. And as soon as you praise anyone who's not or is a rival to their favorite player or team, then you become the worst analyst. So that was why it was, but that's the difference. We praise Sanju Samson quite often on this platform. We praise Rishabh Pant also. We criticize Rishabh Pant also. We criticize Sanju Samson as well, because neither of us are fanboys of X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D, E, F, whatever. Okay, just on that subject, we had a few questions which I saw, but Pawan has removed it. No, they were on this chat only. Okay, there's Siddharth. He says, I personally feel he never held the LSG owners in high regards after the KL incident. They feel that he's over ambitious in nature, and that's not good for any IPL team. Okay, valid point.
No, is it over ambitious or is it that curiosity? Like, you mentioned about that incident, he has a chat with the experts or the former players as to what I can do better at LSG with the players or maybe with the whole team management as a whole. I think there are maybe different ways to look at it. Sometimes you are being curious because you want to be better, you want to get better, you want your franchise to win multiple IPL titles. And even I think Sanjeev Goenka has said it on record that he doesn't intend to sell his IPL team, which probably goes on to show that he is passionate about it.
I agree,
why
but
is he hired Justin Langer? He should coach the team now. Then if he's so curious, learn about the game.
I think now you're exaggerating. You're exaggerating. This is a comment out of line. I'm sorry. If somebody is wanting to be inquisitive, does not mean that he's becoming a coach. There's a difference.
But not about your team now, because that is affecting your team.
That is another thing. But you can't say that then become the coach. I think that is a harsh comment. That is like saying, if I own a company, I'm not an expert with that, I've hired an engineer, I have the right to question the engineer if he's making a part. But you can't say because I'm inquisitive, I'm learning, then why are you keeping him? You only start becoming engineer. That's the comment. I think that's going too far, but I agree with this, that there are also two sides of the coin. And there's reason that a lot of times it's happened. And just to answer your question, that maybe, he feels that Siddharth made a point that over ambitious, and maybe he has a valid point because it happened in a few occasions, like with the MS Dhoni incident or like it happened with KL. So I think that went beyond being inquisitive, and there were certain times that the line was crossed. But whether it was crossed this time, nobody knows.
We don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Naman Kantpal says, Nikhil bhai, what's the take on the Goenka Dhoni issue? Was it fair then? Also, I feel owners can interact, but public dressing down is not cool. I don't think that was the case yesterday, which I completely agree with that. The Dhoni thing also, I thought that, went too far. Maybe in their quest to be winning and they didn't have an ideal season under him. You were a bit impatient with him. I think it was being unfair to MS Dhoni. At least that's how I saw it. And they went with Smith the next season and they reached the final. So if you look at it a very ROI sort of success rate wise, maybe some will say
they won the title, things would have been different. People would have said it was a good move, a genius move, something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Dahiwala, he says, I work in Google. Many times co-founder message on internal groups asking about product quality, what we are doing to address them directly to engineers as well. Yeah, which is what I'm saying. There's not always, you don't need to build a wall, that there will be a wall and I'll only, not cross that. Some people do it differently as well. Anyway, let's turn our attention to the game today. The wicketkeeper subject, we'll dwell on it on another day, but tomorrow. The game, tomorrow on the dugout. But the game today, what are you looking for? Shashwat, I don't know whether he'll be more excited today or was he more excited yesterday? Delhi was his team. Today is his player.
No, two differences in today and yesterday. Difference number one, Delhi I'm emotionally attached to, so I was, Delhi is unpredictable. There I know that things could go any way, and I was, I know my mood will depend on that. Over here, I'm very confident about Shreyas Iyer, the captain, Shreyas Iyer's team. Punjab today, I'm very confident about, so I'm not even tense. Even if they end up losing the game by chance, I know that he'll make a comeback.
Could you, we'll continue discussing. Pawan, please, can we have the likely 11 that we had made for both teams in our preview shows? So we'll take a look at those. If you can screenshot both teams, that is Punjab as well as GT. Shashwat is very confident. Again, he's biased when he says that.
No, I'm
because
not
his
biased.
favorite player is there.
No, he's not my favorite player. He's my favorite captain.
If Shreyas Iyer was playing for GT, then they were winning, na, today.
If he was the captain, yes.
So that's what I'm saying. Na? Favorite player, the greatest thing since sliced bread. So he's
No.
Anyway, don't forget that they're playing in Ahmedabad. But what's really exciting is the fact that it's a out and out Punjab boy who played all his cricket very close to, which is going to be the home ground of Punjab Kings, is going to be captaining Gujarat Titans when they're up against a Punjab team which has gone through a full change in terms of their top management. New captain in Shreyas Iyer. Ricky Ponting joins him there. Let's see how the two of them really take the team forward. But many people are bullish about this Punjab team because it is looking like a good team. But then that is the one criticism that comes with Punjab. They always assemble a good team, yet when they step out onto the field, it's not always ideal. We'll take a look at the playing 11, but Shashwat has picked Punjab to win today. Two good reasons, and we'll go through the room and then get to the 11.
I think the good reasons are that I feel that they are going to make it to the playoffs, and most of us had them in our 11 in our top 4 as well. Top order and middle order, I think, gives me a lot of confidence. They're the sort of team who can leave that impact. Bowlers, they have a well balanced team in that sense. Not out and out match winners in one specific department, but 1 or 2 at the top, 1 or 2 in the middle, 1 or 2 in the bowling. You have Chahal to bowl, you have Maxwell Stoinis at the top, you have a Joss Inglis, you have Prab Simran, you have Shreyas Iyer to make that who's the bridge between the top and the middle order.
Number 3.
So I feel that it's a very well balanced team, and it looks like a team, like in Mumbai Indians or some Royal Challengers Bengaluru. There are individual match winners who can definitely win you a game on a given day, and then you have 7 players like that and they can take you to the playoffs very easily. But over here, I think everybody will have to contribute on every occasion, and I think that could be the case because everybody is a very utility player. It's going to be how they are being used, and I have no doubts in that, how they are going to be used.
Yes, Mr. Gulati.
I think what I'm really looking forward to, and I think that's going to be a very underrated point of this discussion, is the return of Mohammad Siraj. I think he obviously has a point to prove. He has been left out of India's white ball teams. He was snubbed for the Champions Trophy. He also has, spoken about his exclusion from the Champions Trophy. You can check that video out on Sports Today. It's already up. I think he will have a point to prove, and you would want to see Mohammad Siraj being at his very best, because he was criticized by Rohit Sharma in a way that Siraj's new ball skills are not in question. It's just that, we're not confident of his old ball skills. So that's where I think he would want to prove a point here, not just in this game, but throughout the tournament. So one thing that I'm really looking forward to is the return of Mohammad Siraj.
The question is, who do you think is winning and why?
Gujarat Titans.
Why?
I have a feeling that they have a more balanced squad in comparison to Punjab Kings. I am not really going to rate Punjab Kings now. Let's just let them win for 4 or 5 matches on the trot. Then I'm probably going to say some things about him. But for me, I think Gujarat Titans, they have all bases covered. Same can pretty much be said about Punjab Kings, but I'm going to go with the history also. Gujarat Titans, in their 3 years of the Indian Premier League, have won 1 title, reached a final also. I expect them to do well. In case of Punjab Kings, I think I'm going to hold my horses and maybe say a few more things about them after the first 4-5 matches.
The one player I'm looking forward to seeing today is Jos Buttler. He was a player that was let go by Rajasthan, and if you're talking about Siraj being fired up, I think Buttler will be too. The only man to have gotten 200s, I think, last season.
Yeah.
And while his overall stocks may have dipped, but I was looking at his T20 numbers and they are still incredible. Leading up to this season, even for England, is averaging 40 and has an outstanding strike rate. I think it was more than 150, 160. So strike rate is top notch, average is top notch. Still, for me, one of the most outstanding batters. So I'm really looking forward to it. Now coming to the winner, if I had to pick a winner, it's a very close call. Actually, you know why I'm conflicted, and it's for the very first time I'm sitting on the fence. It's 50-50 for me. I'll tell you why, and I'll pick a winner a little later, but I'll tell you why 50-50. Because on paper, it I would give Punjab slight edge over Gujarat. But the reason I made it 50-50 is because Gujarat is playing at home, and out of all the grounds, if there is one venue which kind of helps bowlers, which is not really a very high scoring venue, then it is Ahmedabad. And in terms of bowling talent, I'd still have to say, if I was to go through all IPL teams, the one bowling team, and it's become a rare commodity in today's day and age. If I had to pick one team which is still reliant on its bowling and looks good in its bowling and can be called a bowling team, it will be Gujarat Titans with the bowling attack that they have. So I think that neutralizes that marginal advantage. Both teams are very evenly matched, but I'd just give Punjab slight edge in terms of how the team looks on paper. But because it's happening in Ahmedabad, and because it can be a ground for the bowlers, and Ahmedabad Gujarat has that slightly better than Punjab, so that makes it 50-50. Now to who I think is going to win, I think it'll be I think the team that will chase, I'm going to pick that team to win this. Yeah, I'm going to pick that because for me it's absolutely dead heat. It's 50-50 this game.
Okay, a question for you and obviously for Shashwat too. There have been reports that it's going to be the same opening combination of for Gujarat Titans, Gill and Sudarshan, and Butler most likely at 3. So you're fine with it, or you would want Butler to open?
I want Butler and Gill to open. Sai Sudarshan
Just one for me.
Remember, Sai Sudarshan was injured, but he's now available to be playing this game. So for me, he comes at number 3. He was very good, and I think he can do the same thing at 3.
I think he's very good, but again, it will become very one-dimensional sort of an opening pair if Sudarshan and Gill
both accumulators types.
Not Sudarshan isn't an accumulator.
But can I tell you, you will also see a different version of Gill. See, the Gill 2 seasons ago was outstanding. His strike rate was very high. But then last season, when he assumed the responsibility of being the captain, his strike rate went down to 130, which wasn't ideal. Now he said, and I remember reading his comments before this season started, and he said, listen, we're going to be an all-out attacking team, and we're going to be batting at a very high strike rate. Now, if he said it as captain, he'll have to walk the talk. And I think Gill will be doing that. You will see a very aggressive Gill. So if that is there, and Sai Sudarshan also bats like that, it will be there.
Middle order doesn't give me too much confidence.
But see Tewatia is the miracle man.
I think
he's a miracle man, but
Phillips, for that matter. I think he's going to hold key for them.
But Rahul Tewatia is definitely that miracle man. But can he play the same kind of knock and Ashutosh played? That still needs to be proven by him.
I think 2 things that I would want to say here. One is, would that India T20I spot be playing on Gill's mind?
110%.
Obviously, but then second point here, I think that had been the case with Punjab Kings for a lot of years now. That when KL Rahul used to be their captain, he wanted to stay until the end because probably the thing was that
he did the same thing with Lucknow also.
He did not really
that was a KL Rahul problem, not the franchise's problem.
Maybe that was probably the fact that there wasn't much trust in the middle order. And now we have obviously discussed that Gujarat Titans' middle order does not inspire that much confidence. So do you expect Gill to go the KL Rahul way?
No. I just said Gill is going to go bang bang.
I didn't pick the player to watch out for.
Play aggressive.
I didn't pick the player to watch out for. I didn't know that we are picking that as well. But for me, it's going to be Prabh Simran. I think this season is turning out to be the season for Indian commodities who are not that known right now. And I think Prabh Simran, it's been quite a few years now. I think Sachin Tendulkar did that post 2 years back, if I'm not wrong. Since then, he has not really left his mark. Last time, he was the highest run scorer for Punjab. But again, that wasn't match winning and nobody really remembers that. So until and unless he doesn't step up now, he's going to get lost. Because already, we were just making the list of the wicket keepers who are in contention for the Indian team. He was nowhere in that. We even talked about Jitesh, but not Prabh Simran. So that just shows that Prabh Simran, with the kind of talent he comes, he should be at least somewhere near the Indian team. But for that, he really needs to step up, and I think this could be the season for him.
Okay, so quick question. Who are your openers? Do you go with Prabh Simran and Priyank Arya? You could do that, in which case you could leave an English out and bring in an Omar Zai. You could do that. I mean, that's an option. Because I think Maxwell, Stoinis, Jansen are definitely going to be the 3 foreigners that they will play. The 4th, you could have a split. What is everyone doing?
I'm going to go with Josh Inglis. Absolutely. I think he is one of the best T20I batters going around. And I think knowing Ricky Ponting's fascination with him, and even personally, I would also want it. I think Punjab Kings should open with Josh Inglis and Prabh Simran.
I think Josh English is 100% playing according to me. I think there's no doubts about that. But there might be a way they might be able to fit in Priyansh Arya, but the problem is going to be in place of whom will they be fitting a Priyansh Arya. That is something that...
You have to solve it, no?
Your choice.
You have to
Your
tell
choice.
us what you're going to be doing. Don't give us a problem, give us a solution. What are you doing?
I feel that they might go in with a Priyansh Arya in place of Harpreet Barar because that still leaves them with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bowling options.
No.
Very
How
more
would-
than a handy customer.
How are
he
you?
is
No, you were
definitely-
then basically playing one spinner in Ahmedabad. I don't think so.
Two.
No, Maxwell is part-time
But
spinner. No.
Maxwell is more than handy.
More than
with
a
the ball.
part-time spinner.
Yeah, but still, if your righties are batting, not all the time you're going to be relying on an
No,
off
but
spinner.
if you want to
will need
unleash a
spinner.
Priyansh Arya,
No, but then the only way you're doing it, that's exactly what I said. You'll have
Leave
to take
English
an English
out.
out, and then you get an Omar Zai who's a middle order batter and will give you some bowling. I will find it very, I mean, if they do it, that's another thing. But to leave, you will need two spinners. For me, this 11 that you see on the screen is the ideal 11. You will need an English with the form that English has been showing recently in white ball cricket. You have to go with him. I know Omar Zai also has been showing good form all rounder, but maybe he can be a
really
backup.
bad.
No, that if you push everyone, then it changes. No, you can bring it in your.
You'll have to push everybody down because if Umar Zai can't play below 4, then Maxwell.
No, why can't he play below 4?
You'll play
He
him.
can. He can play at number 6. Shashank and Jansen get pushed down or whatever. He can play. That's not an issue. But I think that they are going to go with this batting line. You have to play English with the form that he's showing. And Jansen is also a decent all-rounder, and you will need that sort of bowling. And with Chahal and Barar there.
Jansen is one of the best going around.
Yeah.
All-rounders, yeah.
That's what I said. Jansen, the tough question for them is going to be which Maxwell and Stoinis turn up for the IPL. I've said it before. Either they can be duds or they can be outstanding. And Maxwell has done both for Punjab. Has been an outstanding season he's had for Punjab. One season he's been a dud. Maybe
2014 was the last time he was a
Priyansh
time.
Arya has had a very good time during the intra-squad game as well.
well, that's why I'm saying he could be an option.
I feel that he might be, somehow they might end up fitting him.
So you have to tell, no, how?
I'm telling you how.
You just said you are playing English.
No, ideally this would be my 11 as well, but I feel that if just going by Punjab Kings, they
we
might.
asked you to pick 111.
Yeah.
You have to tell me 111.
This is the ideal 11, but
your 11.
my 11 would be I'd get in Priyansh Arya.
So
in place
tell
of
no.
Harpreet Barar, and I'll go with 2 spinners.
Okay, perfect.
This is my 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we have a few questions? He's saying English so has to play, but they will play Priyank Arya. Tell us how you
Priyansh Arya,
you have to say how. Okay. Nashli says, would Butler deliver for GT today? I mean, they need a fiery partner to kill.
I hope so.
I hope so too. I already pointed that out. He's the guy.
We both have Gujarat Titans in our playoffs, na? Playoff list.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even I had it till last night.
Yeah.
Okay, Lochan Gupta is saying, they're talking amongst themselves. Priyanshu is asking, will Roko Jadeja remain in A+ contract? Ooh, also
That's about
I think,
to
yeah,
come.
absolutely.
No. Why they just one format now? Just one format they'll play.
2.
1 or 2 at the max.
But we'll get to know very soon, I'm sure.
Mohit says English is non-negotiable for...
He is. I think if there's anyone who would be negotiable.
He's saying for an Australian Ricky Ponting. But there are 3 Australians.
Yeah.
English,
Maxi.
Stoinis and Maxi.
I think he can take the best out of
They're
it.
saying that somebody was, Ponting was Mohit is saying, was unhappy with Jansen's pick. Was it? I have
no idea about it.
South Africans have hurt Australia many a times in the early 2000s.
Okay, we'll see. We're going to take leave from you. Thank you so much for joining another edition of the Dugout. We'll see you at the mid-innings of this game. Join us then. And of course, post-match show will be live. The wicket-keeper who's leading the race, that's an interesting, juicy topic. Maybe we'll touch upon it tomorrow. Shashwat's already done the hard work preparing all the stats. Anything you want to say?
No. Straight away.
Mike is yours.
No,
Anything,
I'll see
anything
them.
you were thinking you had to mention?
No, I'll meet them again at the toss time. So yeah. Then I'll say if I remember.
Chahal to
anything.
have a good day. Just a bold prediction. Maybe Chahal to pick up 4 for
Outside to his creating news.
No,
on field
I don't
also.
care about
With his
that.
bold t-shirt.
Yeah.
That'll be there in the Sport and Spice latest edition as well.
Oh,
That will be too late now. You have to find something else.
This week only.
But
Trying.
that's already on Sports Today, na?
But that is a different, nah.
Okay, guys. Bye-bye. See you soon. Take care.